cats and dragons, where mythical beasts meet adorable whiskers. If you love epic dragon tales and charming cat adventures, you've just found your new favorite channel here. We craft magical stories, dive into fun facts, and bring fantasy to life, one paw and one fire breath at a time. Subscribe now and join our growing community of fantasy lovers, cat fans, and story seekers. New videos every week, because in our world, dragons purr and cats rule. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Now gently close your eyes, allow the weight of the day to melt away. There's nothing you need to do, know where you need to be. Just this moment, right here, right now. Feel your body sink into the bed beneath you. Let your shoulders drop, your jaw relax, your hands soften. With every breath, feel yourself drifting deeper. Into calm, into quiet, into peace. Imagine a soft, warm light wrapping around you. Comforting, gentle, like a blanket of stars. Let your thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. No judgment, no pressure, just rest. You are safe, you are calm, you are loved. Now, sleep, and let your dreams carry you gently through the night. In the shadowed alleys of Elmira, the scent of roasted chestnuts mingled with the tang of magic. Witcher named Kael the Grim sat nursing a mug of sour ale. His golden cat eyes flicked across the tavern. Ever watchful, he was a man of few words and fewer contracts, especially since most involved slaying monsters, not saving them. Which was why, when a small, silver-furred cat in a tiny pointed head leapt onto his table, he merely raised an eyebrow. "You're shorter than I expected," Kael remarked. The cat Merlin whisker flamed. "Wizard of the Ninth Circle flattened his ears, and you're ruder than I expected. But we haven't time for pleasantries. I need your help." Kael took a slow sip. "I don't do familiars. Asking you to," Merlin hissed. "I need you to save a dragon that got his attention." The tale was thus: Aurelian the Golden, last of the Sunfire Drakes, had been captured by the Black Talon bandits, a ruthless mercenary company armed with cursed chains and a warlock's treachery. They planned to sell his heart to the highest bidder, for dragon's blood could fuel dark rituals, and his scales would armor an empire. "Why not save him yourself?" Kael asked. Merlin's tail lashed. "Because the bandits have a no-stone collar around his throat. No magic can break it, and claws alone won't suffice." "But a witcher's sword," Kael exhaled. "You want me to fight an army? I'll pay you in dragon's knowledge," Merlin said. "Aurelian knows where the last star-forged blade lies, the one that can kill a god." Kael's fingers tightened around his mug. That was a prize worth bleeding for. The Black Talon fortress loomed over the ashen wastes, a jagged scar of stone and iron. Kael moved like a shadow. Merlin perched on his shoulder, whispering spells to mute their steps. Inside, chained in the courtyard, lay Aurelian. Once radiant, his golden scales were dulled by pain. His wings bound in iron, a dozen bandits patrolled. Their leader Vexus the warlock standing triumphant atop a makeshift altar. "We strike at midnight," Merlin murmured. Kael smirked. "Or now." He threw a smoke bomb, and chaos erupted. Kael's silver sword flashed, cutting down bandits with lethal precision. Merlin leapt from his shoulder, weaving illusions, phantom wolves, false alarms to sow confusion. Vexus snarled, hurling bolts of black lightning. Kael rolled aside, but one grazed his arm, searing flesh. Gritting his teeth, he lunged, driving his blade through the warlock's gut. With his dying breath, Vexus sneered, "The dragon dies with me." He snapped his fingers. The no-stone collar began to tighten. Merlin, Kael barked. The wizard cat yowled, clawing at the lock. "It's no use. Only a true name can break it." Aurelian's massive eye fixed on Kael. "You know it," and Kael did. Years ago, an old sage had whispered it to him, a dragon's true name, spoken only in trust. "Oradil Sol Rendis," Kael uttered. The collar are shattered, freed, Aurelian roared, his golden fire incinerating the remaining bandits. Then, with surprising grace, he lowered his head to Kael. You have my gratitude, Witcher, and my knowledge. His voice rumbled like distant thunder. The star-forged blade lies in the tomb of the forgotten king beneath the shattered spire. Kael nodded. Then our bargain is done. Merlin flicked his tail. Oh, don't be so dramatic. Just made friends with a dragon and a wizard. That's worth a drink, at least. Aurelian chuckled, smoke curling from his jaws. Indeed, and perhaps future favors. As the sun rose over the ashes of the black talons, Kael allowed himself a rare smile. Maybe monsters weren't so bad after all. The end. Kael the Witcher had faced many horrors, but the shattered spire was something else entirely. The ancient tower stood crooked, its obsidian peaks clawing at the sky like a broken hand. Legend said it was the last remnant of a forgotten empire, one that had dared to defy the gods. And deep within its roots lay the tomb of the forgotten king, where the star-forged blade waited. Merlin Whiskerflame perched on Kael's shoulder, his fur bristling. This place reeks of old magic. The bad kind, Aurelian the Golden, now healed and gleaming, landed beside them, his massive wings stirring the dust of centuries. The blade is here, but so are its guardians. Kael adjusted his silver sword. What kind of guardians? Aurelian's molten eyes darkened. The kind that remember. The tomb's entrance was a gaping maw of black stone, etched with warnings in a dead language. Merlin translated, "Here lies he who sought to slay the divine. Let none wake him, lest the world remember his sin." Kael stepped inside, and the moment his boot touched the floor, torches flared to life with ghostly blue fire. The walls were lined with statues of armored knights, their faces frozen in silent screams. Merlin's tail puffed. Oh, that's not ominous at all. Then one of the statues moved. Stone cracked as the knights awoke, their hollow eyes burning with spectral light. They moved with unnatural speed, swords humming through the air. Kael dodged, his blade meeting theirs in a shower of sparks. Merlin, a little help. The wizard cat yowled, weaving a spell. Ignis Flickerum. Burst of flame engulfed one knight, but the fire passed through it harmlessly. They're immune to magic. Merlin hissed. Aurelian roared, swiping a claw through to knights, shattering them like glass. But for everyone that fell, more rose from the walls. Kael gritted his teeth. We can't fight an endless army. Then he noticed the knights avoided the center of the tomb. A single sarcophagus lay there, its lid carved with a crown of stars, the forgotten king's resting place. Kael sprinted for the sarcophagus, the hollow knights howling behind him. With a grunt, he shoved the lid aside and froze. Inside lay not a corpse, but a man in pristine armor, his hands clasped over a sword of shimmering starlight. His eyes open. Who dares wake the king? Merlin gulped. We do. The forgotten king sat up, his gaze piercing. You seek the star-forged blade. It wasn't a question. Kael nodded. I do. The king's lips curled into a smile. Then you must earn it. He rose, lifting the blade, its edge gleaming like a sliver of the night sky. Defeat me, and it is yours. Aurelian growled. A duel, a test, the king corrected. For this blade was forged to kill gods. Only one worthy of such power may wield it. Kael tightened his grip on his sword. Then let's begin. The king moved like a storm, his strikes precise, his footwork flawless. Kael countered, but every clash sent tremors up his arms. This was no mortal warrior. Merlin tried to interfere, but the king flicked a hand to barrier up. Light sealed the cat and dragon away. This is between him and me. Kael panted, blood trickling from a cut on his brow. Why this game if you're guarding the blade? I let anyone take it. The king's eyes softened, because the world needs a godslayer again. He lowered his weapon, and you, Witcher, have the heart of one. With that, he offered the star-forged blade. Kael hesitated. What's the catch? The king's smile turned sad. The blade remembers its purpose. Wield it, and the gods will know. They will come for you. Kael took the sword. The moment his fingers closed around the hill, the tomb shook. The hollow nights crumbled to dust. The forgotten king sighed, his form fading. Then my watch is over. Outside the tomb, the sky darkened unnaturally, a storm gathering where no storm should be. Merlin's ears flattened. Well, that's ominous. Aurelian's wings twitched. The gods have felt the blades awakening. They will send their champions. Kael studied the star-forged blade, its edge humming with dormant power. Then let them come. Merlin sighed. I hate it when you say dramatic things like that. Aurelian chuckled. Where to now, Witcher? Kael sheathed the blade to find a god worth killing. To be continued. The air inside the vine-woven tower smelled of dried herbs and old secrets. Kael's boots sank into moss-covered stone as he stepped forward, Merlin clinging to his shoulder like a spooked shadow. Aurelian, too large to enter, waited outside, though Kael could still feel the dragon's unease. Through the walls, a woman stood at the far end of the chamber, her back turned. She wore a dress of shifting emerald silk, and her hair cascaded like liquid night down to her waist. When she spoke again, her voice was amused. Wondered when you'd come knocking, Witcher. She turned, and Kael saw her eyes, one the green of deep forests, the other the gold of dying stars. Lyria, the witch of the weave. Merlin's tail flicked nervously. Lyria. Lovely tower. Terrible decor. Lyria smirked. Still allergic to honesty, Merlin, she stepped closer, her gaze locking onto Kael. And you the man who made the heavens flinch, Lyria gestured, and a table of twisted roots rose from the floor. Sit with a steaming teapot and 3 cups. Sit, she said. We have much to discuss. Kael remained standing. I don't drink with witches, Lyria sighed, and I don't entertain fools, yet here we are. She poured herself tea, the liquid swirling like liquid jade. You killed a herald. The gods felt that. Now they'll send worse. Merlin hopped onto the table. We know. That's why we're here. Lyria's golden eye gleamed. You want my help? Kael crossed his arms. Can you hide the blade's presence? Lyria laughed, a sound like wind through dead leaves. No, but I can teach you to use it properly. She leaned forward. The star-forged blade isn't just a weapon. It's a key. Lyria waved her hand, and the air shimmered, revealing a vision of an ancient war gods clashing with titans, the earth breaking beneath them. The forgotten king didn't just want to kill a god, she murmured. He succeeded. The blade was forged from the corpse of the first fallen deity. Kael's grip tightened on the hilt. You're saying this thing is made of a dead god, Lyria nodded. And the others remember. They fear it. That's why they hunt you. Merlin's first stood on end. So what do we do? Lyria's smile turned sharp. We strike first. Kael narrowed his eyes. You want us to kill a god for you? Just any god, Lyria corrected. Velshon, the chainmaker, the one who bound the first dragons, who forged the laws of magic. He's the reason your scaly friend outside can't shapeshift. The reason wizards like Merlin are born as cats. Merlin hissed, that bastard. Kael exhaled. And if we refuse? Lyria's expression darkened. Then the next herald will come for you with an army, and you will die. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Kael nodded. Fine, but we do this my way. Lyria clapped her hands. Wonderful. Then we leave at dawn. She grinned. Oh, and Witcher. And not to die before the fun begins. Outside, Aurelian listened as Kael relayed the plan. The dragon's molten eyes burned with fury. Velshon, he growled. The one who chained my kin in flesh. I will gladly watch him bleed. Merlin, however, was less enthusiastic. Just so we ray clear, we ray walking into divine genocide. Because a witch said so. Kael adjusted the star-forged blade at his hip. We're walking in because it's the only way out. Above them, the sky rumbled not with storm, but with something older. The hunt was on. To be continued. Dawn came too quickly. Lyria led them through a hidden ley-lined rift, a crack in the world that smelled of ozone and burnt sugar. The other side was a place Kael had never seen. Floating ruins suspended among the clouds, its shattered arches and crumbling towers bathed in eternal twilight. The celestial mall, the prison of the gods. Merlin's claws dug into Kael's. Baldrin, I don't like this. Don't like this at all. Lyria smirked. Too late to turn back now, little much. Aurelian, forced to remain behind, even his wings couldn't reach this high, had given Kael a single scale, a token of his fire. Burn him well, the dragon had growled. Now, standing on the edge of the sky ruin, Kael felt the star-forged blade hum in anticipation. The air was thick with the scent of of lightning and iron. The ruins trembled as they moved deeper as if breathing. Then they saw him. Velshon, the Chainmaker, sat upon a throne of broken constellations, his form shifting between a radiant titan and a withered old man. Chains coiled around him like living things, their links etched with the names of every creature he had ever bound. His voice was the sound of slamming prison doors. "You bring a thief's blade into my house, Lyria." Lyria bowed mockingly. "I bring its wielder, and a proposition." Velshon's gaze locked onto Kael. The god-touched worm. Kael drew the star-forged blade. "Let's skip the speeches." Velshon moved like a living storm. One moment he was on his throne, the next his fist was crashing toward Kael, wreathed in divine lightning. Kael barely rolled aside, the impact cratering the ground where he'd stood. Merlin yowled a spell, but Velshon flicked his wristband, the magic unraveled mid-air. "You are bound by my laws, cat." Lyria, however, was already weaving her own magic vines of shadow that lashed at Velshon's legs. "His chains can be broken, Witcher. Strike the names." Kael understood. He lunged. The star-forged blade slicing through a chain link marked Aurelian somewhere far below. A dragon roared in triumph. Velshon screamed as his chains began to fray. "No, you will not." Kael moved like a shadow, cutting link after link. Merlin, Lyria, dragons. Magic, each name freed, sending a pulse of power through the ruins. Merlin suddenly grew, his form shifting from cat to a robed man with emerald eyes, his magic crackling unrestrained. "Oh, that's better." Lyria laughed wildly as her own bindings shattered, her power surging. "Do it, Witcher. Finish it." Velshon, now diminished, stumbled back. "You do not understand what you unleash." Kael raised the star-forged blade. "I understand enough." The blade plunged into Velshon's chest. For a moment, everything stopped. Then the Chainmaker shattered, his form dissolving into 1,000 broken links, his final scream echoing across the heavens. The sky ruin began to collapse. Lyria grabbed Kael and Merlin, her magic wrapping around them. Time to go. They fell not down, but sideways through reality, tumbling back to the mortal world just as the celestial maw crumbled into the void. They landed in a heap at the foot of Aurelian's talons. The dragon, now unbound, had grown larger, his golden scales shimmering with newfound power. Merlin, now human-shaped, though still with cat-like reflexes, groaned. "I think I preferred flying." Lyria stood, brushing off her dress. "Well, that was fun." Kael looked at the star-forged blade, now glowing with stolen divinity. Aurelian rumbled. "What now?" Lyria grinned. "Now, my dear Godslayer, we see who else is watching above them." The stars blinked, to be continued.